Like you don't actually believe in anything that you say you believe in. You're a
He's
fake.
above
You're
the
a
law now
fake
because you have
anti-establishment.
fucking
You
bought
are
out- you have
fake.
bought out
You're
DAs
fake.
going
You're
against
fake
him.
anti-establishment.
What the fuck
Donald
do you
Trump.
mean? Of course-
Donald Trump is
of
the
course he needs to
establishment.
be above
You've
it.
been
The fuck?
mind controlled to
You
believe
got
that you're fighting the
pre-orchestrated-
establishment.
Dude, let's fucking
You've been-
talk about his tax plan.
You've been mind controlled to think you're fighting the establishment when you're supporting an 80-year-old billionaire who's above the law. He is the establishment. He's the person that you should be fighting against, but you actually don't care about being anti-establishment. You care about bootlicking the person who says he is.
Oh, what's up, Rinyald?
Yeah. How's it going?
What's up, man? I'm good. You?
Getting along.
Yeah, you woke up today, man.
Yeah, true.
Yep. So I think I gotta disagree with you here, man.
Okay. Do you want to hear my argument? Have you been listening for a little bit? Do you have
probably been.
Do you have a
like
particular?
5 minutes or so.
Do you have like a particular point of contention, or do you want me to just lay out the argument?
Yeah, well, I guess my contingency is based off his tax plan. That's it, really.
Okay. So, the main argument that I have is that us as Americans, we seem to have a set of core shared values. One of those is a value of freedom, one of those is a value of the Constitution, and one of those is value of elections and democracy. And I don't think that Donald Trump has a respect for democracy. I don't think he has a respect for the Constitution, and he hasn't shown like an outright disrespect for freedom. But I think those two parts are big enough for me to call him anti-American.
Now, when you say democracy, like, how do we even have democracy when we have corporate lobbying?
Because the people go to vote in November. Those votes are certified by the states, and then their electors go to the joint session, and those electors are counted, and whoever has the most electoral college votes wins the presidency. It's not a direct democracy, but it is a representative democracy, and that the people's will is shown through the government.
That's almost kind of ironic, man, because you have corporations essentially buying out politicians with our taxpayer money, which there's no democracy to begin with. There's no democracy there at all.
If those people weren't reflecting the will of the people, they would be voted out.
No, if there was no corporate lobbying, then yes, there would be democracy because you would actually have organic truth to who is being voted on, who's being polled for and all that. But unfortunately, we have corporate lobbying, which stumps the idea of democracy to begin with.
However, if the politicians aren't reflecting the view of their state's people, then those state's people can vote them out.
Brother, the politicians are just there to do the corporate dividend payout. That's it for the corporations.
But they are voted in by
That's
the
all
people.
they're there for. No, they're voted for by the corporation.
They're not voted for by the corporations. They're voted for by the American
Whatever
citizens.
corporation has the most lobbied money puts the two candidates in place.
It's called the DNC
Whether-
and the RNC,
yeah,
but then we
whether-
vote for those people.
Yes, but
Right, so that's
offhand,
democracy.
You are voting for two premeditated people that are put there by corporations. That's not democracy.
But then you vote
Democracy
for those
would be
people,
me
and those
you.
whoever you vote for goes into the presidency.
No, because you cannot beat whoever is corporate lobbied.
You can.
So if there's an organic person coming up that wants to run, they are not going to be able to go against a corporate lobbied puppet like Kamala Harris or Trump or whoever. There's no possibility. They get Bernie.
The
You remember
reason
what
that-
happened to Bernie Sanders?
Yes,
He
I
got
remember
lobbied.
What happened to
He
Bernie
got out
Sanders.
lobbied. There's no democracy to begin with there.
Was Bernie Sanders also not being lobbied?
Bernie Sanders did turn down many and was not receiving the SPACs that many of these high-end candidates were getting. Those high-end candidates, those two candidates that get picked, they receive all the funding from corporations.
Okay, so we don't disagree that the people do vote for the candidates that the two parties choose, and then whoever the majority of the people vote for becomes the president, right? And same thing goes for congressional races, same thing goes for representative races.
But it's premeditated. There's no organic value to it. The only way there would ever be democracy is if there was an organic value to it. It was organically grown. Like there was no interpretation. There was no involvement of outside sources. That's democracy. That's the power of the people.
We could never have a democratic system where there's no involvement of outside sources.
Yes, you can, because you can create a supporting system through the people. It does not have to be lobbied through corporations. It can be lobbied through the people's taxes by themselves. They get to
Like
choose who they want to do it, not the
state-sponsored.
corporations doing it. States are even owned by corporations.
Okay.
The RNA, all those people, Walmart, they're all donating to big lobbyist people. Like, the idea of democracy, bro, is so far-fetched. It's crazy to me, man. Like, yeah, pre corporate lobbying, yes, you had democracy. You had organic people coming up and receiving votes and receiving support through the population, not corporations.
Is representative democracy still a form of democracy?
No, it's a facade.
Okay.
It's literally a facade. These people aren't even public servants anymore.
Anything else?
Yeah, let's go on to his tax plan, because that's really why I'm up here.
So you're fine with him disregarding the, like, tampering with the electoral college process and saying that he wants to terminate the Constitution because the tax plan's good?
No, he has every right to contest the election after the fact, and he has every right to state an opinion that he has on
You're
the
absolutely right. He does have the right to do that, but that's not what I'm
Yes,
talking
he
about.
does.
But that's not what I'm talking
his
about,
opinion, his opinion has no reflection on my
though.
view.
But you realize that's not what I'm talking about, right?
That's exactly what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about him trying to get the Attorney General to lie to state legislatures about finding of election fraud, even though the DOJ didn't find any election fraud. He threatened to fire the Attorney General if he didn't lie to the state legislatures about finding election fraud.
Let me ask you a question, man. In the last 6 years, has any information came out that has stated that those alphabet groups have been organized and used against the American people? Has there been any sort of articles or any sort of information that's come out?
Why are you pivoting?
I'm not. I'm asking you a logical question here to see
No,
if you
you're not asking me a logical question because it has nothing to do with the facts that I just laid
Yes,
out.
it
He did
is.
pressure the DOJ to lie to state legislatures. Whatever corruption you're talking about, Donald Trump is included in.
And you have the audio file of it.
We have the
You have
notes.
the
We have the
audio
notes
file
from
of
the
that,
Attorney
or
General.
are you
We have the
just
notes from the
regurgitating
Deputy Attorney
media?
General. We have the notes from
Are
the
you
Attorney
just
General.
regurgitating media now?
We have the testimony from the Attorney General. We have the testimony from the Deputy Attorney General. We have the testimony from the person that he wanted to replace the Attorney General with, and we have the letter that he was trying to get to be sent.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
no, I'm not just
it's
hearing this
all-
from mainstream media. The problem is that you are actually getting all of your information from like X or TikTok, and you don't actually know
not
what is
on social
happening in your
media like
country.
that.
This is why.
No.
This is why.
You're literally
You don't know what you're
regurgitating
talking
media.
about.
It's okay. Okay. That's why you think
I
there's
read-
even democracy in
I
America
read
to
court
begin
docs,
with.
dog. I read court documents. I read the depositions. I watch like the congressional hearings. You watch X. You watch TikTok.
I'm on the freedom of information of CIA.org, dude. That's where I get my information.
You get your information
Okay?
from CIA.org.
Yes, the Freedom of Information Act that many of y'all don't even fucking know is out there.
So my question is, why are you trusting CIA.gov if you don't trust the findings of the DOJ?
Because this is not coming from the DOJ. There's many declassified documents in there that come from different agencies.
So if I'm referencing a specific document and specific testimony from the Attorney General, why are you not trusting that? Like I'm just getting it from the DOJ.
Yeah, because everything that's coming out is going to show you that all this shit that has been orchestrated against this single man that's finally doing something right.
Everything
for the
that's
American
gonna
people.
come out. So you're saying there's no evidence of that, right?
Look at all this pre-orchestrated crap that has gone against him with Jack Smith, all this bullshit, and all these orchestrated DAs in Democratic cities.
All
It's
this
falling
pre-orchestrated
apart.
stuff, as in Donald Trump is investigated for a crime. All of that evidence is put before a grand jury. The grand jury determines that there's probable cause to indict him, and then he gets indicted. That's what you're talking about,
Yes,
right?
and all of it is falling apart.
None of it's falling apart. The problem is that he
Yes,
won the
it
presidency, so they can't prosecute a sitting president. That's not falling apart.
Is he the sitting president yet?
He's the president-elect.
Is he the sitting president yet?
No.
So why can't they do it then?
Because, okay, you have no idea how
Because
this
it's
process
falling
works, because you
apart.
can't just have a trial like this.
And then you literally had Jack Smith try to retry him on the whole immunity bullshit. It's all fake, dude.
Did you
And
like the
can't see
immunity
this
ruling?
shit.
Did you like the immunity ruling?
No, I didn't give a fuck about it.
So here's the problem: is that you claim to care about corruption, but you don't care that the president is now above the law. Like you don't actually believe in anything that you say you believe in. You're a fake. You're a fake anti-establishment. You are fake. You're fake. You're fake anti-establishment. Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the establishment. You've been mind controlled to believe that you're fighting the establishment.
Dude, let's fucking talk about his tax plan.
You've been mind controlled to think you're fighting the establishment when you're supporting an 80-year-old billionaire who's above the law. He is the establishment. He's the person that you should be fighting against, but you actually don't care about being anti-establishment. You care about bootlicking the person who says he is.
Bootlicking, yeah.
Yes, bootlicking, because you just support, you claim to be anti-corruption, but you're literally bootlicking the guy and saying he should be above the law.
Because you have pre-orchestrated fucking DAs going after the guy.
Pre-orchestrated? What does that even mean? They followed up an investigation? Pre-orchestrated just means that they followed up an investigation?
Dude, you literally had fucking Obama tapping into his fucking campaigning.
And then what
the fuck do you mean?
What came out of the Mueller probe?
Holy shit!
What came out of the Mueller probe? Can you answer me that?
And then you had a whole.
You have no idea what you're talking about. You just have talking points. You just have talking points. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up and let me fucking finish.
I need you to answer my question. I need you to answer my question. Did anything come out of the Mueller probe? When they tapped his phone to investigate his ties to Russia, did any indictments come out of that probe?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay, weird. So they did an investigation, and then credible indictments came out of that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's wrong there? Okay, so what's wrong there?
What do you mean, what's wrong there?
If an investigation took place,
orchestrated people going against a specific
Mango, if an investigation took place, Mango, if an investigation took place, and then they got credible indictments out of that investigation, what's wrong with that?
Do you see how I just let you fucking speak? You should do the fucking same if you want to have a conversation.
Because the difference is that I know what I'm talking about, and you just have talking points that you read off of X.
You thought we had democracy when we have corporate lobbying, bro.
Corporate lobbying and democracy aren't opposing ideas.
Get the fuck out of here,
You have no idea what you're talking about. That's fine, but don't come up and act like I don't.
We won't talk about the tax plan, bro. That's why I came up here.
Because
you're talking about some emotional bullshit.
Because the prompt is Donald Trump is anti-American, and I don't give a fuck about his tax plan.
I'm gonna prove to you how the fuck he's American by the tax plan he gave us.
So you think the tax plan is more important than the attack on our democracy and him saying he wants to terminate the Constitution?
Every single working American. Every working American benefited from the fucking tax plan.
Would you be willing to put up with a Trump dictatorship if it meant a good tax plan?
Bro, shut the fuck up.
Answer that question. Answer that question. Would you be fine if Donald Trump wanted to be a dictator as long as you liked his tax plan?
I don't know. Now back to the fucking tax plan, okay?
Why would you claim that you care about democracy and then say you don't know if you'd support him being a dictator? Get the fuck out of here.